Hello there, fellow adventurers. Sorry I don't have much time at the moment as I'm getting ready to go to Sweden to visit locations from the Kara Reed Mysteries, and the Adventure Game Fanfare is also coming up at the end of July. Before going away, I wanted to get this video out about the latest release of Betrayed Alliance Book 1, which I've been following for several years. Back in August of 2020, I interviewed developer Ryan Slattery when the game was in version 1.2. The latest release is version 1.3.3 and features a huge graphical update by the Special Carl, as well as a new soundtrack by Brandon Bloom. The playtesting crew includes someone calling himself the Adventure Game Geek. Sounds like my kind of guy. I'll make some comparisons between the two versions, but it's safe to say the latest version is a major improvement, and the best thing is it's totally free. No way, it's free?
Did someone tell you it was free? They were correct.
One of the most remarkable things about Betrayed Alliance is that it's programmed in SCI, just like classic Sierra games like King's Quest IV. Of course, nowadays there are other programs available, but Ryan was insistent on doing things old school.
I have no background in programming, so that was the biggest hurdle for me to go over. When I first discovered the studio that you could make these old Sierra games on, I tried to talk my younger brother into doing the programming because I didn't want to learn it. I was like, I'm the art guy, I'll do the animations and all that stuff. And he was on board for that for about a week. And then he was like, well, I found this thing called AGS Studio, and you can get more colors with that. So he moved over to the AGS, and I was like, no, I want it to be original. I want it to be very, very like the old games, because this game runs on the exact same system as the old Sierra games.
From the first screen, we can see how different things look. The old version was less detailed, though I do like the floor that looks like a starfield, and these books with funny titles like the Politically Incorrect Guide to Black Magic for White Wizards. And here comes a wizard now who is obviously a white wizard with no politically incorrect ideas about black magic at all, who tells us about our mission to rescue Princess Julin, who's been captured and taken to the castle. A handy portal and map gives us access to the world outside, and from here on we mostly have free access to explore the land and its inhabitants. Talking to people is not as straightforward as choosing from a list of dialogue options, as this game uses the good old text parser, and to get the most out of it we need to ask the right questions. For example, this is Bobby. He's a fisher. His name is Bobby. Bobby the fisher. So let me get this straight. His name is Bobby, and he's a fisher. If we ask him about fish, he mentions that Princess Julin fished with him. So now let's ask him about the princess, and he tells us she's supposedly in a cave to the east. Let's go east then and see what we find. This blonde babe wants us to forget all about our quest for the princess and swear an oath of love to her. Yeah, alright, why not? Well, we could end the game there, but we'd really be missing out. Ah, what's this hint book option? Yes, there's actually a printed player's guide and game manual available from Amazon that I highly recommend. Even if you completed the game already, it tells you anything you might have missed, as well as a story introduction and a place to take notes like all the subjects to ask people about. This book isn't free, but the game is. Nah, it can't be free.
Look, I promise, it's free.
This wouldn't be a good old Sierra style game without some good old Sierra style deaths, and Betrayed Alliance has plenty of them. One of the main inspirations is Quest for Glory, including RPG elements such as player stats and combat. Although fighting isn't necessary and it's often not the smartest way to progress. Getting past this troll, for example, takes more than brute force, and we'll have to find something else to placate him. One thing I missed from the original here is that the troll throws some shit out of the cave entrance. But I guess you have to get rid of some shit to make way for the good stuff, and Betrayed Alliance has plenty of good stuff, much more than I have time to talk about now, but here are just a few examples. When we discover the cave Bobby the Fisher was talking about, we have to climb down a well in the shape of a skull, which in the original was a stone face. In any case, we feel a great sense of trepidation when entering the cave, not knowing if we're going to find our way out again or end up like these unfortunate souls, or even a malevolent spirit cursed to haunt the place. This is another example of how useful the Ask About command is, as this ghost gives us some backstory on how he and his friend ended up here. I also just get a kick out of making him appear and disappear. One important place to visit is the library, which previously had a statue of the Great Wizard outside. This is one of the few places I prefer how it looked in the original, with the bookshelves stacked high and people walking past the window in the background. One thing that remains the same though is the librarian pumping iron with stacks of books. Here we can return any books we find that have gone missing from the library, as well as taking an IQ test to score some bonus items. One location I feel is most improved in the latest version is this place guarded by an electrical field. In the original, this guy looks more like a mad scientist, and his shelves are full of artifacts like a stuffed Antwerp, some electric potatoes, and a mysterious box. He gives you a pair of goggles that look like the nose glasses from Zap McCracken, and they allow you to see hidden objects as well as disguise yourself. There's plenty of optional extras like this, and what you get out of Betrayed Alliance is largely based on what you put into it. Maybe you'll find this secret cave where a group of familiar looking adventurers are hanging out playing cards. Not sure who this guy's supposed to be in the original though, maybe a villain in a James Bond movie. I wonder what happens if we type "Hello there, fellow adventurer." Hey, that's me! There's an arcade machine here where we can play Sailboat Extreme, but it's way too extreme for me as I couldn't get the high score. There's a way to cheat, but that's another secret waiting to be discovered. Well, that's about all I got time for now, but there's plenty more adventures waiting around the next corner, like the Crimson Diamond by Julia Minamata, another text passer game with glorious EGA graphics released August 15th. Check out the description below for a link to download the latest version of Betrayed Alliance, and don't forget it's free. I still can't believe it's free.
Listen to me. It's free.